Hi, this video is an introduction to algebra and I'm going to be looking at algebraic notation, or how you write letters and numbers when you're using algebra. So first of all, what is algebra? Well, algebra is when we use letters instead of numbers in maths. You will have seen it before. For example, we calculate the area of a rectangle using the formula length multiplied by width. And here I'm using L to stand for the length of the rectangle and W to stand for its width. We calculate the area of a circle with the formula pi r squared, and here the r stands for the radius of the circle. So a few rules that you've got to remember when you're using algebra. The first one is that we don't use the multiplication sign. So if you wanted to do 3 lots of b, 3 multiplied by b, then you'd write it like this, just 3b. If you wanted to do b or any other letter multiplied by itself, b times by b, then we would write that the same way that we write numbers when they're multiplied by themselves. 2 times by 2 is the same as 2 squared. B multiplied by b would be the same as b squared. If you were going to multiply a number by itself 4 times, then we would say that that was a number to the power of 4. So it's the same with letters. If you wanted to multiply b by itself 4 times, b times by b times by b times by b, then you would write that as b to the power of 4. 3 multiplied by b multiplied by c would be written as 3bc. There's no multiplication sign. When we do division in algebra, we don't use this division sign either. We write division in algebra as a fraction. So if you wanted to write 3 divided by b, it'd be written like that, 3 over b. B divided by 6 would be written like this, b over 6. If you're halving in algebra, well, you know that halving is the same as dividing by 2. So b, half of b, would be b divided by 2, and would be written like that, b over 2. You probably know that if you're halving a number or dividing it by 2, that's the same as multiplying it by 0.5 or multiplying it by a half. So you could also write half of b like that, a half multiplied by b. There's no multiplication sign there because we don't use that in algebra. But the half next to the b means a half multiplied by b. Bidmus still applies in algebra. So if you see something like this, 3b squared, that you know that you do the, there's no brackets in that top one, so you do the indices first. You would do b squared, b multiplied by b, and then you would multiply that by 3. b times by b times by 3. It's common in algebra to have the number before the letters. Looking at this bottom example there, 3b squared, well, you do the brackets first. So you would do 3 multiplied by b, and then you would square that. So that would look like this, 3 multiplied by b multiplied by 3 multiplied by b, with the bits in the brackets coming first. There's no particular rules to remember with addition and subtraction in algebra. 3 plus b looks like this, 3 subtract b looks like that. But what you do have to remember is the addition sign and the subtraction sign belong to the letter or the number that comes after them. So in this first example, 3 is positive, but the b is also positive because it's got the addition sign in front of it, or the positive sign in front of it. In the bottom example, the b is negative because it's got the minus sign, the negative sign in front of it. I'm going to come back to that a little bit more in the video about collecting like terms, but it's worth bearing it in mind. So do we use upper or lowercase letters in algebra? Well, mostly we use lowercase letters, and we have done in all the examples in this video. Where you're more likely to see an uppercase letter, and there are other exceptions, is if the letter stands for an answer of a formula. So here, the A stands for the area of the circle, and the formula is pi r squared. So have a go, test yourself. How would you write this first one? C divided by 2. Yeah. C is being divided by 2, so C would be your numerator and 2 would be your denominator. C multiplied by 4. Be 4C because the number comes first. 6 divided by C. This becomes 6 over c, where 6 is the numerator and c is the denominator. c plus 4. That can stay the same. Could also be 4 plus c. And here we've got c multiplied by c, multiplied by c, multiplied by c. C multiplied by itself 4 times becomes c to the power of 4.